It is 11:47 p.m. You are exhausted. Your body is basically a badly folded camping chair. You brush your teeth. You climb into bed. You do the responsible little adult ritual where you place your phone down like it is a holy object that definitely will not ruin your life again. And then your brain wakes up. Not gently. Not usefully. It kicks the door open wearing a tiny accountant visor and says, "We need to discuss every mistake you have made since 2012.
Marvelous. The body is tired, the room is dark, the pillow is available, and the brain has decided this is the perfect time to become a tax inspector, philosopher, courtroom prosecutor, and relationship historian.
You wanted sleep. Your brain chose a full internal government inquiry. And the worst part is, it feels personal. Like sleep is ignoring you. Like everyone else was given the secret password and you were left outside in your socks. But insomnia is not just thinking too much. It is light exposure, stress hormones, circadian timing, habits, dopamine, anxiety, body temperature, and a modern world that has somehow turned bedtime into a second unpaid shift. So tonight, Professor Kant is going to explain why you can't fall asleep. And why your brain waits until the one moment you need silence to start a podcast no one subscribed to. Chapter 1. You are not a phone. The first lie is that sleep works like charging a phone. Low battery, plug in, wait, done. Beautiful idea. Complete nonsense. Your body is not a rectangle with apps. It is a biological system running on timing, chemistry, temperature, light, pressure, habit, and mood. Sleep is not something you command. Sleep is something your brain has to allow.
This is the sleep system. Notice how it has slightly more moving parts than just close your eyes, mate.
There are two big forces that help you sleep. The first is sleep pressure. That is the buildup of a chemical called adenosine. The longer you are awake, the more adenosine builds up and the more your brain starts suggesting things like, perhaps we should stop operating heavy machinery and also stop replying to emails with the word sure in 6 different emotional tones. The second is your circadian rhythm. That is your internal clock. It tells your body roughly when to feel awake, when to feel hungry, when to cool down, when to release sleep hormones, and when to pretend you will become a better person tomorrow. Good sleep happens when sleep pressure and circadian rhythm line up. You are tired enough. And your body clock agrees that it is night. When they do not line up, you can be exhausted and still awake. Which is one of the rudest design choices in biology. And modern life is brilliant at pulling those two systems apart. Chapter 2. The light is lying to your brain. Your brain did not evolve with bedside LEDs, TikTok, group chats, streaming platforms, and a phone bright enough to guide aircraft. For most of human history, light meant something simple. Daytime. Darkness meant something else. Night. Then we invented electric light and immediately used it to watch a man restore a rusty knife at 1:12 a.m.
This glowing rectangle is not a neutral object. It is a tiny sun with opinions.
Inside your eyes are special light-sensitive cells that help set your body clock. They are especially sensitive to bluish light. When bright light hits them late at night, your brain receives the message, "Good morning, everyone! Time to be alert! Release the daytime chemicals. Prepare the organism to answer LinkedIn messages." This can delay melatonin, the hormone that helps signal biological night. Melatonin is not a magic sleeping pill your body makes. It is more like the lighting technician at a theater, dimming the stage so sleep can walk on. But if you keep blasting light into your face, the technician is standing there with a headset saying, "I can't dim the lights, Dave! Someone has opened Instagram again!" And it is not only phones. Ceiling lights, bright bathroom mirrors, laptop screens, kitchen lights while you do a midnight snack investigation. Your brain is trying to read the room. Unfortunately, the room looks like a supermarket.
So if you are asking why you cannot sleep after spending 2 hours in bed with a phone 6 inches from your face, the scientific answer is your brain thinks sunrise has terrible Wi-Fi. Chapter 3. The Cortisol Committee. Even if the room is dark, your stress system can still keep you awake. The main villain here is not always anxiety in the dramatic movie sense. Sometimes it is low-grade, ordinary, miserable modern stress. The kind that sits quietly all day, then waits until bedtime to open a PowerPoint.
Stress is the body's alarm system. Very useful if there is a tiger. Less useful if the tiger is, "I forgot to cancel a free trial."
When your brain senses threat, your body releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals raise alertness. They increase heart rate. They prepare you to act. Which is fantastic if you need to run. Less fantastic if you need to lie still under a duvet pretending you are emotionally stable. The problem is that your brain does not only respond to physical threats. It responds to imagined threats. Future threats, social threats, potential threats, embarrassing memories that should legally have expired. To your nervous system, what if I fail? Can feel like danger. What if they hate me? Can feel like danger. Why did I say you too when the waiter told me to enjoy my meal? Apparently, danger. At bedtime, distractions vanish. No work screen, no conversation, no errands, no noise. And into that silence walks every thought you avoided all day, carrying a folding chair.
Chapter 4. Rumination, the brain's worst playlist. Rumination is repetitive thinking that feels like problem solving, but usually solves absolutely nothing. It is the mental equivalent of opening the fridge every 7 minutes to see if your life has improved. You replay the same scene. You analyze the same sentence. You imagine the same outcome. You rehearse arguments with people who are currently asleep because apparently you are the only employee working the night shift in your emotional department.
Observe the rumination loop. The brain says, "We are processing." But scientifically, this is just emotional buffering with worse graphics.
The cruel part is that rumination feels responsible. It feels like you are doing something. Planning, preparing, preventing disaster. But much of the time, you are not solving the problem. You are rehearsing fear. And rehearsed fear tells the body to stay alert. The body then says, we are alert. Must be danger. The brain notices the body is alert and says, there must be danger.
And suddenly you have built a tiny panic-powered roundabout in your skull. This is why telling yourself, "Just stop thinking," is useless. It is like shouting, "Be normal," at a printer. Adorable confidence. No effect. To sleep, the brain needs to feel safe enough to let go. Rumination keeps filing appeals. Chapter 5. Bedtime Procrastination, Revenge in Pajamas. Now we meet one of the most modern reasons people cannot sleep: bedtime procrastination. Or even better, revenge bedtime procrastination. This is when you delay sleep even though you know you will suffer tomorrow because the night feels like the only part of the day that belongs to you. All day, you are controlled. Work wants you. Family wants you. Messages want you. Errands want you. The laundry has developed a legal case against you. Then night arrives and your brain says, finally, freedom! And freedom apparently means watching 8 short videos about people organizing spice drawers.
The defendant pleads guilty to staying awake for no reason, Your Honor. However, the defendant would like the court to consider that daytime was deeply annoying.
This is not laziness. It is a control problem. When people feel they had no autonomy during the day, bedtime becomes a rebellion. The problem is, the rebellion is against your own tomorrow. You steal time from future you. And future you wakes up at 7:03 a.m. looking like a haunted sandwich.
Revenge bedtime procrastination feels like self-care at midnight. By morning, it looks a lot like self-sabotage wearing fluffy socks. Chapter 6. The phone is not relaxing you. One of the funniest lies we tell ourselves is, I'm just relaxing on my phone. Sometimes, yes. Often, no. You are not relaxing. You are stimulating yourself in a horizontal position.
Ah, yes, relaxation. Nothing calms the nervous system like outrage, comparison, gossip, tragedy, jokes, adverts, strangers arguing, and one video of a man falling off a treadmill.
Your feed is built around novelty. New faces, new jokes, new threats, new rewards, new opinions from people who type like they are fighting a chair. Novelty wakes the brain up. Emotional content wakes the brain up. Social comparison wakes the brain up. And unpredictable rewards keep you checking. Maybe the next post will be funny. Maybe the next message will matter. Maybe the next video will finally explain why everyone is putting cottage cheese in things. This is the same basic reward logic we talked about in scrolling. Unpredictable rewards are powerful. Your brain loves maybe. And bedtime maybe is deadly. Because sleep requires disengagement. Scrolling requires re-engagement every few seconds. So no, your phone is not helping you wind down. It is putting tiny fireworks in the exact room where sleep is trying to nap. Chapter 7. You trained your bed to mean awake. Your brain is very good at association. If you repeatedly do something in the same place, your brain learns what that place means. Kitchen means food. Desk means work. Gym means regret with mirrors. And for many people, bed no longer means sleep. Bed means phone. Bed means worry. Bed means streaming. Bed means email. Bed means lying there, checking the time, and doing mental maths about how ruined tomorrow is going to be.
Congratulate. Through repeated training, you have taught your bed to become a home office, cinema, crisis center, and emotional courtroom. Sleep is merely renting a corner.
In sleep science, this is part of stimulus control. If the bed becomes strongly associated with wakefulness, your brain may start becoming alert simply because you got into bed. It is not betrayal. It is learning. Annoying learning, yes, but still learning. This is why sleep experts often recommend using the bed mainly for sleep and intimacy, and getting out of bed for a short reset if you are wide awake for too long. Not because the floor has magical powers, because you are teaching your brain again. Bed means sleep, not 6 tabs open in your soul. Your brain can learn the wrong signal. The good news is, it can learn a new one. Chapter 8. Working harder makes it worse. Here is one of the most irritating things about sleep. The harder you try to force it, the less likely it becomes. This is called performance anxiety. And yes, you can get performance anxiety about lying unconscious. Human beings are ridiculous.
And here we see the athlete entering the final event, aggressively attempting to become unaware of existence. Bold technique, terrible strategy.
Sleep is passive. It arrives when conditions are right. But when you monitor yourself, judge yourself, and keep checking whether it is happening, you turn sleep into a task. Now your brain is not resting. It is evaluating. Am I asleep yet? What time is it? If I fall asleep now, I'll get 5 hours and 42 minutes. If I fall asleep now, I'll get 5 hours and 37 minutes. If I fall asleep now, I'll get just enough rest to hate everyone legally. Clock watching is especially brutal. Every check creates a little emotional hit. Panic, frustration, calculation, more alertness. And alertness is the opposite of what you need. Trying to sleep can become the thing that keeps you awake.
Beautifully stupid! Very human. Chapter 9. How to actually help sleep happen. So what actually helps? Not a miracle hack. Not a supplement with a label that looks like it was designed by a wizard on Etsy. Sleep improves when you stop treating bedtime like a panic deadline and start treating it like a landing sequence. First, dim the lights before bed. Not only when you get into bed, earlier. Give your brain a clear evening signal. Warm, low light tells the body that night is actually happening. Second, protect your wake-up time. Circadian rhythm loves consistency. Your body clock is less impressed by your motivational speech and more impressed by repeated timing. Third, stop doing emotional admin in bed. If your brain keeps producing thoughts, write them down earlier. A worry list, a tomorrow list, a yes brain I heard you list. This does not solve every problem, but it tells the brain the issue has been logged. You do not need to send a representative at 2:14 a.m. Fourth, there. Your worries have been professionally ignored until business hours. Fourth, create a buffer zone. 20 to 60 minutes where you are not working, arguing, doom scrolling, or trying to understand geopolitics in bed. Low stimulation. Same pattern. Repeat it often enough that your brain learns the choreography. Fifth, if you are wide awake, do not turn the bed into a battlefield. Get up briefly. Keep the lights dim. Do something boring and calm. Return when sleepy. You are not admitting defeat. You are refusing to train the bed as an insomnia arena. And sixth, be careful with caffeine, alcohol, and late intense exercise. Caffeine blocks adenosine, which is literally one of your sleep pressure signals. Alcohol may make you feel sleepy, but it can fragment sleep later in the night. And exercise is brilliant, but doing a personal Olympic final right before bed may send your body the wrong memo. None of this is glamorous. That is how you know it might work. Chapter 10. The real reason night feels so loud. There is one more reason sleep is hard. It removes the armor. During the day, you can outrun yourself with noise. Tasks, messages, screens, people, deadlines, caffeine, tiny emergencies dressed as productivity. Then, night arrives.
The room goes quiet, and the brain finally hears what it has been carrying. That does not mean you are broken. It means your brain is trying to protect you with the only tools it has: attention, prediction, memory, alarm. Fortunately, at midnight, those tools have the elegance of a shopping trolley with one bad wheel.
The brain is not evil. It is trying to help. It is simply doing so with the timing and subtlety of a smoke alarm in a bakery.
So the answer is not to bully yourself into sleeping. It is to lower the signals that tell your brain to stay awake. Less light, less stimulation, less clock checking, less emotional courtroom drama in the bed, more rhythm, more safety, more boring little routines that look unimpressive and quietly save your life. Sleep is not an enemy you defeat. It is a state you stop interrupting.
And if your brain starts reviewing your entire life at 11:47 p.m., tell it the department is closed.
Because you do not need to solve your entire existence tonight. You need darkness. You need rhythm. You need permission to stop. And possibly, just possibly, you need to stop asking a glowing anxiety rectangle to tuck you in.